Welcome back, guys. Matt here, and we're back with another episode on the Splashpad series. Today we're just doing an update video. There's a lot that has changed since the last time you have seen, so we're going to jump in with the plumbing because a lot has changed from that also, so I'll let you start talking about that and kind of get going with it.
I believe the last video we were just laying out for the plumbing. We got all that connected up. You can see the risers. Everything's been pressurized. We did pressure test everything. I built a custom pressure tester to tie in, and we tested everything. We did find a couple leaks. Unfortunately, I found a joint that I didn't glue. We fixed those, and now everything's good to go with the plumbing. We also got the Sidewinder installed. We got that from the shop, and we got that all tied in, and everything's good to go as far as the plumbing.
Have you pressure tested the Sidewinder at all?
Yeah, everything's been pressure tested. That checked out good. Once we got all that done, we started to work on the lighting. And originally, as far as the lighting goes, I was gonna run conduit and electrical, and I decided not to do that. The wire I bought, I pushed that to the side, went down and got direct burial wire. I just didn't feel like gluing more PVC together, and just ready to get done with this. And I was hoping to have this ready by the end of this weekend for the concrete guys. I'm not quite there. We also formed up the entire thing, got the concrete forms up to the correct height. Now everything that needs to be in here is in here, and we just got to backfill with some sand and gravel to get it to the correct height. And once we do that, then we got to put the nozzles on all the risers, get those to height, and then we got to lay down the mesh for the concrete guys, and also the bonding, which I know we haven't talked about bonding, but it's basically anything that's metal needs to have a 8-gauge copper wire run to it, and then it's all tied together, and that'll be tied in with all the pool, any rebar around the pool, all the pool fixtures. That way it just makes everything connected to one, so that nothing gets a voltage charge different than the other, and it'll eliminate any small electrical shocks or anything.
Right. And I also noticed that you have, or where the nozzles go, you put rebar on them and connect them with zip ties.
Oh yeah, that's another thing we did to stabilize the risers, is because we didn't want, when we were backfilling with the stone, or when the concrete guys come in, we didn't want our nozzles moving around. So what I did is I put about 12 inches of rebar down, left about 4 inches up, and then secured them with 3 zip ties, and that just will keep them from moving anywhere, which we needed to do that.
So how has been running the plumbing since you have been you've done it all yourself?
Plumbing, I'm done with. I'm ready to be done with plumbing, like forever. There is a lot of gluing and a lot of figuring out. It's a big puzzle, but we're at the point where the splash pad's about done, and then once I can call the concrete guys, they're gonna come in and pour this, and then I can move on to the other projects I gotta do. So I'm glad to be at the end.
So how long after this gets concrete can you actually start concreting the rest of your yard?
Once this is poured, the concrete guys are going to give it a week, and then once that's done, then they're going to come in, and that'll give me some time to take care of some projects that need to be done before they can come in and pour anyway. So plus, once this is done, we'll pull the forms off, and then I'll start forming up for the next pour, and then taking care of anything that needs to be taken care of before they come in with the next load of concrete. And then we got a big job. It's technically going to be 4 different pours. the Splashpad's #1. It's the most complicated. It's going to be basically its own little island by itself, and then everything else will be poured up to it. So it's a big project, but I'm hoping to get it wrapped up here within the next few weeks.
Right. And then another thing that is also new is these light fixtures that you got.
Oh yeah, the lighting. Originally, when we talked about the lighting, I was hoping to set the fixtures inside like a 3-inch PVC pipe and drop in, but unfortunately the size of this base is too big to fit in 3-inch PVC, but it's too small for 4-inch PVC. I tried to look for a thin wall. I couldn't find any at Lowe's, so I went up to my cousin's fabrication shop and was talking to him, thinking I could probably get away with 3D printing something, but he was concerned with that because it would be too fragile, plus it'd take a long time with the 3D printing. So what he came up with was this. It's basically exhaust pipe, and then they took it to a machine and it expanded for a joint, and then these things will fit right down as soon as the wire gets in there, right down in there, and it'll sit nice and flush. So when we do our pour, the light will come out. We'll have that out, and then we're gonna leave the plastic housing in, and then we're gonna tape over top of it just to give them something to screed off of and to keep the concrete from going down in. But what he did was he welded these on the side, so that way when we put these in the ground at the right level, we pound some rebar in there. I think he had like 20-inch rebar that he cut for us. And he also added a threaded insert in so we could add a bonding lug to it. Because these are metal, they got to be bonded as well, where if we were able to use the PVC pipe, we could have got away without it. But so we got that in there. Oh, and he powder coated them for me, so because I was going to spray paint them, and he went above and beyond on these and powder coated them. So they'll last a long time, especially with them being bonded together. They're not going to rust as quick as, say, something that wasn't bonded will rust. So, plus with the powder coating, it'll protect it for years. So, but yeah, this made my life easy putting them into the ground.
Especially when doing it yourself, because I mean, you can't. I doubt you can find anything specifically for this.
No, there's nothing for that. This is completely custom made. You can't find this on the shelf. Maybe we'll throw his information in the description in case anyone needs some custom fabrication. He's also the one that did the custom lugs for the
footing base.
Thank you. The footing base for us, and yeah, he's been helping out. He's helping me out with some parts for the pool as well.
He definitely knows what he's doing. So, I mean, if anybody does need anything, if it's not too big, I'm pretty sure he can ship it too.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
Maybe at expense of you, depending.
Yeah,
on
he ships. If it's a big thing, I mean, delivery is always an option. That would have to be negotiated with him. But,
right.
But yeah, if you look at the lighting that we put in, you'll see the copper wire coming off. I already got that attached for the bonding. So once we backfill, and those will stay just like that until we get the wire mesh in here, and then we'll connect everything up. But yeah, it's been a project. Like I said, I'm just trying to get past this point. It's like building a house, and you got framing, you got to make sure everything's level, you got your outside structure, you got plumbing, you got electrical, and there's only so much time in a day. So
definitely the time consuming.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing we got too is if we want to go look at the side of the garage, I do have all that plumbing connected up, which we didn't have done in the last video, I don't think. So you got this big long maze of PVC pipe, and everything's all tying into the garage, and then it's all connected up to the manifold, which is how I did the pressure testing.
What you got in there pretty nice. I mean, it's definitely,
Yeah,
it looks clean.
Once all this is backfilled, we're actually bringing the height of the ground up a little bit more to protect the piping, but there's a lot of piping too, so but plumbing's done I think plumbing is done completely. Well, no, part of my pool filter still needs to be plumbed up, but that should be easy.
Yeah, it should be easy. But I mean, other than that, it's really just, I guess, I mean, kind of at the finishing stage for the Splashpad for the most part.
We are. I'm hoping within 2 days, please. 2 days. 2 days, I want to be complete, and so I can call the concrete guy and be like, hey, we're ready. So.
Yeah, which we'll definitely get that on some, or we'll get footage of that, or at least talk about it.
For sure, we'll get footage of that.
And I also, yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say I also want to get footage around the concrete around the other house, but that'll probably be in a whole separate video, like unrelated to the Splashpad series. But that'll be another video on the channel.
Right.
But what else? What else do you think we haven't talked about that is new? Because, or do you think that's kind of it?
No, I mean, we can end it here. I mean, pretty much everything visually is. I mean, you know what's different from when you were here last for the most part, so.
But I mean, if there's anything else,
I don't want to go in the garage.
Right. If there's anything else, we'll throw it in the clip. But for the most part, this is gonna be the end. Hope you guys do enjoy this series. If you do, feel free to drop a like and or subscribe. Leave a comment if you're curious about anything, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.